Oh, dear.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Cobra Commander TFW. That was a bad one. I'm not going to take another start, though. We're just going to go with it. I'm here this week, joined by the ever-lovable, ever-painting Mr. Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
Life is pain.
As it should be. Never forget. Never forgive.
No, life is paint.
Oh, no. I don't want life to be paint. Unless it's just the smell to get me high. That's the only way I would accept anything you're saying at this point, Mikey.
Isn't that like that South Park one of just like he's getting completely wasted on life?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. How's it going though, Mr. Mikey? Things good?
Not too bad. Sore as balls.
Was that an that's a realization? It was an my body's just hurting again.
Yes, I have been productive during the week, which basically translates into agony.
Good.
So yeah, it's been active. It's just sore.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, very good, I guess.
Now, what about yourself, young Andy?
Yeah, I'm fine. A bit bruised here and there, but I'll get onto that later in the.
That's because of the beatings.
It is the beatings by life in general. But we're gonna kick off straight away into Transformers news for the week, Mr. Mikey. We got some crappy news lined up as is the way of things. As Transformers BumbleBee movie Masked Heroes line has been discovered. Apparently, the Masked Heroes line. Are each masks priced at 449 RPH? What the fuck's RPH?
The Ukrainian currency, by the looks of things.
Are they rubles? No, that's Zelda.
I think that might be racist.
I don't know any currencies.
Is it ruples? Oh, wait, no, that's Zelda.
Yeah, that's Zelda.
That's India, you idiot.
Yeah, whatever, it's the same thing.
Isn't it ruples? Yeah, ruples.
I was sure ruples were the thing... No,
maybe they are, but that's them taking from real life. Zelda didn't make it up.
Didn't they? I mean, Nintendo's been around a long time, Mikey.
Ruples is either Russia or India.
I thought for Russia it was whiskey.
Because vodka. Yeah, because it's rupees in India.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Ruples would be sort of like, ye oldie Russia, hey, look at our emperor, isn't he terrible?
Rubles sound like an animal. Like a shelled crustacean. Like there's a horde of rubles coming over the beach.
What's that coming over the hill? It's a ruple.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a ruple is a giant crab. Like mountain-sized crab.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm high on adrenaline and life. What are you high on?
I'm nothing. I'm high on nothing. Which apparently translates to roughly $17.20. So kind of your standard mask price. The product name is apparently Hasbro Transformers 6 Masked Heroes, as mentioned before. The product description, this'll send you for a doozy. Masks of your favorite characters from the new Transformers BumbleBee movie.
The thing is, I'm trying to think who it could be, because if
Bumblebee.
they're doing multiple, but B obviously, but I mean, I'm assuming it's just going to be a Bumblebee and an Optimus from an old line.
Oh, without a doubt, because remember the Bumblebee they used for the last night, which was just the one from RID, just with different paint.
Oh, that was bad.
That was cheap. That was the little owl going cheap, 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 cheap,
lazy,
cheap. Yeah, like you said, maybe they'll do skinned versions of John Cena so you can wear a John Cena face.
They're just like, this feels so realistic. Yes, feels.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say, like, you were being a child and this feels so natural to wear another human's face. Whoa! Hello, Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the making here. Whoa! I think at that point, that's where you have to take your kid to a psychiatrist. I'm just saying if they're fantasizing about wearing celebrities' faces, that might be a warning sign.
There.
I haven't been there. I haven't been to Amarillo.
You've been to Amarillo. You bought the T-shirt. You've come back. You've had a jaunty time.
I remember being really annoyed at that song because everybody was like, it's mainly because it's Peter Kay and I don't find Peter Kay funny, so everyone was like, oh, yeah. I love Peter Kay and going down to Amarillo, and I was like, oh, fuck Peter Kay.
I don't get the whole Peter Kay thing.
Neither. I've never have either. It's not a comedy for me. But then again, my comedy involves ladies throwing their boobs and butts at each other and creating
That is the best
divine attacks
sport.
through them. Keijo, it's the
sport.
best.
It's amazing, and it's not comedy. It's just remarkably well written.
The gates of Boobalon.
Oh no, it's Kerberos that does it for me. It's just
That was pretty good as well.
but it's so well written.
It was.
Why is
Stupid
it
show.
so? Why is it so well written?
I have no idea. So it's so much fun for such a stupid thing.
And it ends in Gao Gaigar versus Gurren Lagann.
Gao Gai got nipples.
Versus Gurren Lagann butt.
Yep.
Or was it nipples? I don't remember.
I can't remember. I remember no, it was Hell in Heaven for the nipples.
Yeah, and it was like a drill that pierces the nipples. I
Or
suppose, in this
bum?
case. But
I guess. I
But
don't know.
she had like the scarf, she had the glasses. It
It was
was just
great.
like I
So
was just
dumb.
like, oh my god, they're us. The people making this show are us.
Oh, they're terrible people then.
Yep.
Terrible, terrible people. But yeah, these.
But
Oh, I get it. Apparently, well, I don't think these prices are a little steep. They are steep, like $17 for a
I
mask
wouldn't
that
pay it.
probably. I'm gonna take a stab because it doesn't say in the description. Doesn't have electronics. Seems a bit high, at least to my eyes.
especially since I've seen the quality of these things in general, and like it's better than Halloween masks.
Not by a huge jump,
Not
though.
by Yeah, you know, the advantage here is that the strap won't break on your head, presumably.
Yeah. Oh, back in my day or our day, Mikey, it wasn't a strap, was it? It was just a little elastic
Oh,
band.
And those things hurt.
Yeah, because they were just they weren't plastic, were they? They were that material that they have for bubbles on cards. Except thinner because they always cracked, and then they cracked into your face. Good times.
Yeah.
Ah, I'll never forget. And whenever you breathed on them, it always misted up really
oh my
quickly.
god! And it smelled so bad.
Is that because of the plastic or because of your breath, Mikey?
I thought it was the paint, to be honest.
What were you eating that day, Mikey?
Paint.
What have you been doing recently, Mikey?
Paint.
Oh no, a horrible cycle has been made here. But yeah, masks. Maybe Bumblebee, maybe Optimus if he's in the movie. Probably Optimus, even if he's not in the movie. In all honesty.
Oh god, I think it will be Optimus and Bumblebee. One, because they don't have to make one, and two, because those are who they're marketing.
Yeah.
Like some rumors are saying the bad guy's going to be Starscream based on the color scheme. I'd be surprised.
Okay.
Myself, just because they were saying, oh, it's red and blue and white, and I'm just like, yeah, but Starscream isn't in these movies.
You know what jumping to that conclusion makes you? Racist. Judging a Transformer by his colours. Racist.
Racist.
Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it.
But I mean, I could see maybe a bad guy getting one, but I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, same. I guess it depends
Especially
who the bad guy is, because to be honest, I could easily see it being a human bad guy.
Oh god,
I could easily say that as
no.
Bumblebee versus like an evil military operation or something from
Oh,
the 80s.
God.
You could see though, couldn't you?
No, do you know what it's going to be? Like,
Oh.
evil military guy, blah, blah, blah. At the very end, he walks into a room, disappears, and it turns out he's Barricade's Hollow Matter.
Oh, yes.
and he fort walls and says, every movie, and it just drives away.
The only way that you could make a decent human bad guy is if he's super southern, like super southern stereotypical
Oh my God.
Texan.
No, you can't do that, because I'll just be like, I want Scorponok in here now.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, what's his name from the Machination?
Oh, God. Something Dante.
was
Abraham
gonna-
Dante.
That's it. For some reason, I was going to say Tom Belong. And then I was like, no, that's a letterer. He's a letterer. I don't know what kind of
Not
guy
from
he
Texas.
is.
I'm
I've
from Texas in the slightest.
from the interview that you did, he sounds like a nice gentleman rather than a man who would start an evil organization and rip the heads off of Transformers.
No, I mean, he didn't have a Stetson on when I was talking to him, so...
Well, did you do a video chat or was it just an audio call?
It was video.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah, we were chatting away.
Oh my.
He has a lovely place.
He's a brave man for looking at you for so long.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll move on though to Transformers Clip Bots, which I hadn't heard of until today, for maybe
No,
some good
me
reason. I wouldn't consider. I'll make a statement right now before I go any further. I wouldn't consider these crap, but I wouldn't consider these great either. These are things that are fun little queries, you know, fun little pocket things to shove in like a little bag that you got at birthday parties. Do they still
Yeah.
do that now? Birthday
Or put-
parties with little bags
know.
of shit in it?
Yeah. Or if they're on, like, key. They're kind of things you just stick on the back of a bag or something.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah, that kind of cute crap that Japan would
Yeah.
love. So what are they? Basically, the description reads: convert, clip, and collect with plush figures. It's not really a figure, but that are more than meets the eye! Exclamation mark. No trademark though. These boxes can clip onto your bag or backpack, so a kid can bring their favorite Transformers characters with them wherever they go. Build and collect a fan favorite Autobot and Decepticon with Transformers clip bots.
build.
Yeah, it says build. I don't really understand. Build a collection. Build a collection.
Oh, right.
That makes more sense. But yes, what you do with these things is they're a little kind of super deformed, flat, plushy, which you can turn from their little robot mode into a little vehicle mode, and they, as I mentioned, clip onto your bag. In the box, there is a Bumblebee, there is a Hot Rod. It's nice actually to see a Hot Rod, to be honest. There's a Soundwave, an Optimus Prime, and I'm guessing Starscream's in there.
I can see the vents.
I think that's
on
it.
his-
There's no Megatron, strangely enough.
No, very strange.
Yeah. What do you think?
Assuming
of
that's
these
not
things?
him in the middle.
No, that's Starscream's head because that's I think his ear vents are just covered up by everything else around him.
Oh, okay.
His head looks a bit too dark grey to be Megatron's lovely chrome face. But what do you think of these, Mr. Mikey? They're $6 each, so they're not too expensive either. I think they're the perfect price for what they are.
I think they're cute.
Mhm.
I think they're cute. I think they're harmless.
Would you buy one?
Probably if I saw one going cheap and it was just like, sure, why not?
Would you buy one for? I was going to say your child, but it's not your child.
Will
the
be
child
soon
that-
enough. I'm working on it.
I mean, for the
they've been
future. I mean,
talking
like,
about you behind your back.
oh god,
They've been saying things. You can trust me.
oh god. I mean, I don't mean like buy it for them like tomorrow.
Or
But, you know,
I don't think
just
that would go
throw
down
it at
well.
them. But like for the future, this seems like a cool thing just to give a young child.
Yeah, I think it'd be neat.
I think they'd have a difficult time swallowing it as well, so that's probably a plus as well.
Oh, they'd learn.
Delicious felt. Yeah, so these things are neat, but not. I'm not shitting my pants over them, kind of thing. Mikey, do you want to take us on to our only bit of third-party news for this week?
Yeah, a bit of an interesting one, this. New Age H1 Legend Scale Generation Bumblebee. New Age H1, I believe this is the first we've ever heard of them.
I think we've heard of them before.
I don't know, it's just, I don't recognize the name.
Aren't they? No, it's Magic. I'm thinking of Magic Boxer, whoever it is that did the Inferno and the Grapple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, these guys, it's H1 as well, so again, makes me think maybe the first one,
Right. Maybe.
but I don't know. We don't have a name for this figure yet, but it's a Legend Scale G1 Bumblebee. Very accurate to the cartoon model. It's only 6 centimeters tall in robot modes and 2.7 centimeters wide in car mode. Comes with a jetpack for the robot mode, and we get to see some comparison shots with the DX9 Sonic's Wizard, the Sentinel Pen, which was Optimus Prime, remember that?
I do.
And the Legends Bumblebee, who I didn't realize had weird Are those translucent ball joints in his elbows?
Yes, they are.
Why?
Because it's the Japanese version.
Oh, no.
I don't know why that's an answer to what you asked, but I think it's because there are windows on like his I don't know, shoulder bicep area, so they maybe wanted to have that, and then just made the entire thing clear, I guess. Which seems a bit wonky.
It's very distracting when you're looking at it here.
Yeah.
But he is, we see him in scale. He comes up to about half the height of the Optimus and the DX9 Soundwave. He fits inside of tiny Masterpiece-sized trailers. Or rather, not Masterpiece-size. Tiny Optimus Prime G1 trailers. I don't know who that is.
No, I
Do you know who?
I think that's one of the other Legend scale Optimus Primes.
Right.
I think I have no idea which one though, because
No.
there is actually quite a few at this point.
Yep. And then we see him next to sort of what is it? NA, which is we see him in vehicle mode. NA next to is him. IG, I'm assuming is eye gear.
Let's say yes. That makes sense.
And HB, Hasbro.
Yeah, Hasbro.
Yeah. But it's a tiny Bumblebee, and we see him next to a shiny coin.
What kind of coin is that? Is that-
Renmin
Is that a Nabubian dollar?
Yinkang. Zhongo Renmin Yinkang. so I don't know.
$1 Namibian dollar.
Indeed, it 1 ruple.
Yay!
Yep. Yeah, we get a close-up shot of the robot mode. I think the sculpt in robot mode is pretty nice. It's very squished.
Yeah, well, it's 6 centimeters, so
But like just the proportions on the chest and the feet make him look like someone put something heavy on him, and he's just sort of sinking.
He's got some big clown shoes on, bless him.
He does. We also have a shot of the back with his jetpack on, with one of the most awkward insets I've seen in a while. That looks like it was done in MS Paint. And yeah, we get a couple I'm doing badly today, guys. We get a couple of side shots of the vehicle mode. I think he looks cute.
Okay.
I want to see him painted up, and I want to see if there's much to the transformation. I suspect there isn't at that scale.
I think it looks like it's more oomphy than some of the other Bumblebees we've seen transformation-wise.
If it is, that's super, super cool. But I'll just, wait and see.
Yeah.
But I think this thing might look quite nice when it's colored up. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll explain as well. By oomphy, I mean solid. Like, when you consider how the Hasbro Bumblebee kind of transformed. Did you ever play with that mold?
Very, very, very briefly.
I didn't have a good experience touching it myself. I don't know about yourself, but I was like, ooh, no.
I was at a con and I wasn't paying attention, to be completely honest.
Just drooling, eyes completely dilated. Oh, Mikey, always on them drugs, always eating paint. Yeah, I think this is a pretty decent looking Bumblebee. He's got a happy little expression on his face, which is good. I'd be interested to see how much it is, since it is so wee. Like how much would this be? If it's 6 centimeters, maybe shouldn't be more than £15.
I hope it's very cheap.
Yeah, one would hope, being that small, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks okay. For the insert, it looks like he is like farting out that other image of himself, because it is pointed right at his little screw hole. So yeah. Shall I take us on, Mr. Mikey?
Yep.
Well, Mr. Mikey, over in the world of Japan, Universal Studios had a Universal Spectacular Night Parade. Oh yes. Which featured have you watched this video? Because I watched it and jumped through a few things.
Bits and bobs.
Yeah, it's one of the parades that they have at the parks, which is one of those staple things that you have. The event was held in Japan on May the 17th, so I don't know if this was the first time this parade has happened. I'm guessing it probably has, and it's going to be rolling out to the public very soon. But it featured movies such as Harry Plopper. It also had Minions, unfortunately, because there is no God. God is dead.
Yep.
There was also...
Haven't seen that movie. Never will.
Which one? All of them? Any of them? Or just Minions?
I've seen 2 of the Despicable movies, and I'm just like, you know what? These movies are slowly morphing into Minions. I know there's a 3rd one, and I know there's a Minions movie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're not that funny.
That's where I stopped as well. I wasn't even that impressed with the Despicable Me ones, to be honest. I thought they were fine.
I like the first one.
It was all right. I preferred, what was it? The one, Megamind. I preferred Megamind.
Haven't seen that.
I thought that was okay. I thought that was better.
Worth checking out?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I never really recommend those movies highly because everyone fucking raves about how good they are. And the only one that I really think is worthwhile is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 1 and 2.
There's a 2?
Yeah. He goes to Strawberry. There's a little giant strawberry with giant eyes, and they call it Berry, and it's super cute. And Steve come back.
Steve come back.
The monkey. I love Steve. I would always recommend Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs because those movies are a lot of fun. Anyway, that's off topic. They also have Jurassic Park, and of course the reason why it's here, they have Transformers. So I will say that as I jump through this, granted I didn't look at the Minions bit because I don't hate myself. Transformers, unless the Minions had the worst one, which I don't know. Transformers had the most boring of the floats there. The Harry Potter one was pretty fucking cool, as they basically had the Hogwarts Express train driving through. And the carriages had like screens in the passenger carts, which played clips of the actors and stuff doing Harry Potter shit, which was quite cool. There was a classroom parade float where people dressed up as wizards were doing magic at each other and looking like they were having a real fucking good time, which I was like, oh yeah, these guys are fucking into this. The Transformers one was just a giant bumblebee which kind of rotated on the spot and very slowly moved its arms up and down, which I was like, that's a bit boring. People in some very cool kind of Tron suits though were shooting their guns up in the air. They did a cool effect where on the buildings around them they shot a spotlight on it, and they projected the tentacles from Shockwave's worm dude going through the buildings and setting them on fire, which was quite a neat little effect. They had a float of Chicago, a small representation of Chicago, and Megatron hitting over a clock tower, which was all right. It didn't move at great speed or anything, but it's like, that's okay. And the last one...
You know what they should have had?
Well, what should they have had?
The Universal Studio Megatron.
They should have done, but they didn't.
He would have been amazing. Just have him there yelling at people in Japanese.
It would have been way more interactive if they did. I think a bit more visually interesting as well. The last one was just terrible. Unless the float was broken, it was just a bridge with a out of proportion scale Optimus Prime truck on it. Like, it looked really wonky in terms of its proportions. And then the one straight after that was Jurassic Park, where they had the cage from Jurassic World, and it had a load of guys in raptor costumes in it.
Yeah, those guys are a thing now. Those are they had the Jurassic Park 25th anniversary event this week.
Oh, right.
Which was big. Like, there was the first 10 minutes of Fallen Kingdom shown. Jeff Goldblum was there. People from all over the world. I hated them all. I still do. And like they had half of it was like live action raptors. So people in those raptor costumes going around. In fact, they were probably the same raptor costumes.
Probably.
Going around being chased by like 16 Chris Pratts. Of all genders, creeds, and races.
Excellent.
Who were just like, hurt him. It's not fucking working. Like, it must be, like, it's probably a bitch of a job just in terms of, like, the amount of effort in it. But it must be very fun to just, like, you know what? I think I'm going to chase the crowd around for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I will say it's not my favorite suits that people have made for dinosaurs. I prefer the ones where they have the legs in, the legs are just, like, in black tights. And they've got like the legs morphed around them, and their feet are in the dinosaur's feet. I think those ones look a lot better, but they're like probably way more expensive than these Universal ones. They're the ones from Walking with Dinosaurs, right, or something?
Yeah, they were developed for the live action Walking with Dinosaurs. Technology's been used by several groups. Lots of animatronics in the actual heads and stuff.
Oh, that would probably explain it as well, because the heads on those things were fucking nuts.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just like to use those you need money.
Yeah. And
not theme park, here's the costume money. I mean, like, this is the ride money.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, these raptor costumes were good, but you know, I was just thinking in my mind, compared to those ones, they weren't as good. And they had a giant T-Rex thing, so I definitely think in terms of what was on display there, the Transformers one was the least interesting, unless the Minions one was, which I would consider. But
I think the fact, like, the big animatronics, like Bumblebee, they just move left. They move right.
And the arms slowly move up and down, very slowly.
Again, the best one to compare is the Jurassic Park one, where some of the animatronics were moving up and down on the float.
Yeah.
And they were moving a lot more vocal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you feel like the Transformers one, someone basically had this, like, large prop handy already that they just said, sure, he waves.
Yeah. Or it was the idea of, we need to get a scaled Transformer in here, but then when they did, they realized they couldn't do much with it. That's kind of how it felt. I tell you, like, is it Universal Studios in Japan that has Attack on Titan and Monster Hunter, or is that a different park?
I think it's Universal.
I think it was as well. I think it would have been, I mean, granted, this parade was kind of the celebrating of Hollywood rather than anything else, but I would have way preferred for a Japanese parade to have had Monster Hunter stuff, like I don't know what it's called, the big dragon that everybody knows from Monster Hunter.
Rathalos.
Rathalos, yeah, big Rathalos float. That would have been neat. And people in stupid Monster Hunter armor running around with giant stupid swords.
Yep,
that would have been
practical
great
as possible.
Yeah, and then people dressed up as the guys from Attack on Titan with the little little jetpack things. You know, that would have been neat. Have an armored Titan pooping out some smoke or something. But that's what I would have seen. Anyway, it was a neat little thing. I like parades at theme parks. They're not desperately stressful, but they're usually quite pretty and interesting to watch on a visual scale at least. That's what I think anyway. Mikey, take us on to some other news, if you would.
Yeah, so Hasbro has been meeting for the upcoming Licensing Expo 2018, where they did... It's not here yet, but they did an interview with the people over on... What was the website? It was... The link's not working for me. Work link! The link is to TFW.
The link
TFW
is live.
has linked... TFW has linked to TFW, guys. But anyway, so... Okay, licenseglobal.com. So, there we go. But so they just sort of laid out some of the plans of what's coming up, and there was a very strong focus on an individual. It seems, at least for the next little bit, a lot of the media is going to be centered around BumbleBee. So, some select quotes. We decided on BumbleBee because we wanted to go in a bit of a different direction. We wanted a character-focused film versus an ensemble. He is loved by kids, multiple generations, girls, and women. Everyone loves Bumblebee. If that was the case, you'd be choosing Starscream.
I was thinking that.
The Starscream movie, can you imagine?
Oh.
This was in an interview with John Warner. Hasbro is capitalizing on the film surroundings with a slate of 80 themes launches, including a new TV show, vinyl album, and graphic novel, which the company hopes will lead to a wave of millennial nostalgia.
Millennial nostalgia.
Because, the millennials, they were certainly into their vinyls.
I don't know. Why can't it just be nostalgia? Why is it millennial nostalgia? I know because it's specifying, but it just sounds silly.
Watch words.
Because they never said the baby boomer nostalgia or the Generation X nostalgia. They just said nostalgia.
Well, they were millennial. Fucking idiot. Nostalgia.
Ooh, goddamn, Mikey.
Hey, that's how they usually act towards anyone who they define as millennial.
It's
so
true.
I'm just calling them out.
Yeah.
Hasbro was off to a running start with 2 new television programs: Transformers Cyberverse Chapter 1 and Transformers Prime Wars Trilogy.
Stop it.
The first is an animated series from Hasbro Studios and Boulder Media that follows Bumblebee as he attempts to recover his memories on Earth. I still find that an interesting premise. Transformers Prime Wars Trilogy picks up on the Transformers Combiner Wars storyline and offers a more detailed look at the franchise's characters and history.
Don't fucking lie.
It fucking doesn't.
Don't lie. You've actually watched some of the episodes. I haven't.
I'm doing
yet,
live tweeting. Like I'm probably going to do it. Like I have to do it for this week, but I'm just going to say. One of the scenes is Predaking and Volcanicus chasing people with their arms held out, and the only caption I have in my head is "Love me, senpai." It's like bloody Yandere Simulator or something.
The Game of Thrones of Transformers.
Oh, people keep defending it. I'm just like, no. You've become inoculated to the shit. It's still nothing's happened in 3 episodes.
How do people defend it? I'm interested to know.
Well, it's a bit more, and I kind of like this a bit more. Hey, it's not the other 2 shows. And I'm just like,
what do you mean it's not the other 2 shows?
It's not better. It's not better than the other 2 shows. As I said, it's just bad in different fucking ways.
Oh, dear.
It's been 3 episodes. Nothing's happened. Nothing. They ended up in a swamp, and Grim Volcanicus has a mouth that opens.
Yes, I saw the picture of that, and I saw you were as pleased as punch to see that happen.
It looks, apart from anything else, it looks really bad.
It looked awkward, like it shouldn't happen.
The way to enjoy this is to really enjoy that everything bad happens to Victorion.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing. She gets the shit kicked out of her. Even by people trying to help her.
Nice.
And also, like, no one's really bringing up the fact that she's missing half an arm, which is half a person. But it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Though the shows are not set in 1980, Cyberverse emphasizes the idea of keeping memories alive, while Prime Wars, which debuted on Verizon's streaming service, which is dying, Verizon Go 90, was conceived to reach the older, devoted fans who had grown up with the franchise and who we clearly hated. Hasbro's 360-degree approach to the new film is one that reflects the company's continuous evolution from a toy company to a global entertainment brand. Our first piece is to step outside the traditional Heartland business and think of opportunities way beyond the toy aisle. Our blueprint is a dramatic expansion, and that includes stories, new movies, consumer products. It's about navigating the consumer product landscape as a whole, and as all entertainment companies face dynamic challenges, it means not relying entirely on one sector. Broadly speaking, it's that Hasbro is becoming a lot more of a global brand than just a toy thing.
Yeah,
which we all knew. They already own at least one movie studio. With this, we have our first shot from the actual series Cyberverse, which is Bumblebee riding into the screen. Okay, so really, I mean, most of this is pointless faff. Let's be honest.
Oh God, yeah, totally.
The two things to take away from this: one, the new image of Bumblebee. And two, it's Cyberverse. The first series is being called Chapter 1.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're planning something like not just like, hey, here's our first season. Bumblebee's got his memory back at the end. The end. Are they planning like Chapter 1, Chapter 2? How far are they planning into the series? Have I said planning enough?
I would imagine at the very least, if you've got a Chapter 1, they'd probably go for like the movie's 3-act structure. So maybe there's 3 chapters, I would guess, which would annoy me to a point because it would mean that for shows that have been cancelled before they got time to finish because they weren't set for the amount of time. This one's already sounds like it's been guaranteed a certain amount because it's like you say, because it's been given a numbered chapter. It's Chapter 1.
I wouldn't put my money on that because I suspect this is going to be airing on Cartoon Network, and they hate everything that isn't Adventure Time, Steven Universe,
but
and Teen Titans.
If you remember, this is set up so it's gonna, from what we heard, if things haven't changed, it's gonna be that structure of a 15-minute episode and then another different 15-minute episode, which is in Cartoon Network's more ballpark these days, shall we say?
But there will be action in this, and they hate action. Like that's not like hyperbole. Both Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network have been recorded as basically kind of kicking the shit out of anything with any fighting in it.
Oh, we're going to talk about that later, Mikey. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
A lot of people aren't happy right now, Andy.
And a lot of people are defending. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it. We're nearly there. We're nearly there.
Hey Andy, did I mention Teen Titans Go, the movie is out in the
Oh my god, it fucking Jai linked me the trailer again, and I talked to him last night. I was like, stop linking me the shitty trailer, you piece of crap.
Did you see the Deathstroke Talks Deadpool one?
It's funny. Well, let's reference a better thing. That's their joke. That's their comedy. Their comedy is, look how much better other things are in comparison. Self-deprecating humor is funny. But when your show is bad and there's nothing redeeming about it, don't keep saying, look at this other stuff that's better.
I know, it's great.
Oh my god.
That's the only thing I enjoy about Teen Titans Go, when they stop and go like, we know we're terrible.
But they still keep going.
No, I mean, is it true that in American Cartoon Network, they're like 80% of what airs?
In some places. I think in America, it's not as heavy, but in other countries, other regions at the very least, yes, it is.
That's insane.
Yeah. I think in Asia, I could be wrong, I think Asia, they have it on the schedule way higher than any other region of the world.
That's insane.
You know what I mean?
Like, putting one show above, apart from that, the show it is, but putting one show on that kind of pedestal, that's going to backfire tremendously.
You'd have thought so. They've been doing it for a while now at this point, though.
It all collapses eventually.
Oh, let's hope so. Anyway.
Do you have any opinion on the actual image?
No, because there's not much to it. It's a shot of the front of the car from a downward angle. The style, at least from this one image, looks like it'll fit in very similar to RID, more so than the concept art that we've seen previously, for the toys and everything else. It doesn't look like that. It looks way more like it's a CG render, which I'm sure it's not, but just from this one image, that's what it's evoking in my mind. If it was I think it would have been better, especially for a teaser image, at least have Bumblebee in his robot form doing something rather than him in a car mode. But it is a teaser image as well, so maybe that's the point. I don't know. What about you, Mikey?
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this does remind me of stuff I've seen from Boulder Media. What I'm concerned about is that I'm hoping this doesn't mean they're going to have a low frame rate. I'm hoping, because they've been doing this kind of animation longer than most people.
Well, Boulder Media is doing 2D, isn't it? It's not going to be CGI, right? It's
sort of 2D Flash.
Yeah, and their Flash isn't, like, they've done My Little Pony, and their My Little Pony is not jittery at all. It's like full 30 frames or more. So I can't imagine it would be jittery. It's not going to be RID. Oh, we've got some lag. We've got some lag here. Ooh, turn up the volume.
But, I hope for the best. I worry for the worst, as I always do.
I think that's a good way to go.
In that case, Andy, take us on to more Bumblebee news.
Let me take you on to double Bumblebee whammy. KO. Possible street date has been announced for Transformers Bumblebee movie toy line. It's slated for a Halloween release. For those not aware of what that means it'll probably be around Wednesday, the 31st of October, that being Halloween. So, yeah, that's right. It's not unusual for toy lines to kind of pop up a month early, of course, but the Last Night's toy line was released on the 24th of April of last year against its June 20th premiere date. So that's, I'm guessing, where they're kind of getting the info from. Based on the info, the Bumblebee toy line will consist of, but maybe won't be limited to, the following product categories. The main line as part of the ongoing studio series. Oh, that's interesting. So it'll kind of just be mushed in. Okay.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's for the best. That's the best idea. Energon Igniter's Nitro Series, Power Series, Power Plus Series, which is the one you'd surely go for, right?
Oh, well, naturally.
And Speed Series. There's also going to be Titan Changes, a B Vision Mask. What could that be?
I don't know. See the world through the eyes of a bumblebee. It's not even the car. It's just a bee.
It's just a bee. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be a lot of fun. As long as it's not based off a bee movie. That's a weird film. That's a really fucking weird film. What were they thinking? There's also the Showcase Helmet, the Stinger Blaster, which will be obviously a roleplay toy, the DJ Bumblebee.
Oh, Jesus.
Does that mean a Bumblebee turntable? And also roleplay masks. So there's at least a good few roleplay things, a good few decent masks. A B-Vision mask, a Showcase Helmet, which will probably be the whole shebang with your lights and sounds and all that kind of waz. And then a roleplay masks as well, which is probably the masks that we talked about at the start of the show, I'm guessing. The cheap shit ones, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck's DJ Bumblebee then?
I don't know.
I can't even conceive what that would be. It's weird.
I fear for it.
Yeah. Energon Igniters. Weren't the Energon Igniters those things from the last movie where you had that Energon cube, you pushed it inside the kind of squat transformer and it would make noises?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think that's what they're going to be doing again? Just kind of maybe doing a bit, maybe a few other things with the idea of that cube going inside of a robot or inside of a thing? You think?
Maybe. I hope they play with the idea of it, because it was an interesting gimmick.
Yeah.
But obviously, the problem with gimmicks is that they're frequently limited, so, try a bit.
Gimmicks.
Try a bit harder.
Gimmicks. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're going dick deep into it then, if that's the case. If each of if the Nitro, Power Plus, and the Speed series each does something with that idea, but something different, all right, that's something at least. It might not be something that appeals to either of us, but at least they're going and running with an idea, so that's something. Also, on the Bumblebee highway to hell, there's the Transformers Bumblebee movie prequel comic tradeback paperback cover revealed. I'm guessing we've talked about the comic before, yes, Mr. Mikey?
It's been very, 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 very briefly said that there is going to be a tie-in comic, which is the first tie-in comic since Dark of the Moon.
Oh, wow, okay. Is it the first prequel comic since Dark of the Moon? Or
yeah.
Did Dark of the Moon have a prequel, or did it just have one that happened after?
Defiance and Foundation.
Oh, they preceded the movie. Okay. Oh.
But after the movie adaptation kind of spoiled all the big beats of Dark of the Moon,
right,
and showed things like a better ending.
Yeah.
The word is that the movie team came down and said, "Listen, we don't want any more adaptations."
And now 2018.
Where the shits they are not given.
Yep. So this comic is called From Cybertron with Love, and for those not aware, it is a play on James Bond's movie From Russia with Love. That's the thing. So let me give you some information about this comic. It is done by the John of Le Barbers, the Andrew of the Griffiths, and the Priscilla of the Tramontanos. That's the team. The price is going to be $14.99, so $15. 96 pages. Release on the 2nd of October. I'm not going to give you the details of how big it is, because who gives a shit? But let's go about what it's about. Fan favorite Autobot Bumblebee is recruited for a top secret mission in 1960s London. Won't know what hit it when this robot is disguised. Robot in disguise goes undercover. Oh, that was bad. Dear me. I don't even have the excuse of huff and paint, so what's my problem? It's a high-tech, high-octane, high-clearance spy hijinks from Cybertron with love.
They missed a trick there.
What? What was the trick?
Spy jinx.
Oh, you should write for IDW, you piece of shit.
No, I shouldn't.
Some call him Goldfender. I'm looking at the hypothetical camera with a look of bemusement on my face.
John, no.
No.
Go back into your chair.
Look at your dog, and your dog will look at you and go, "Oh," and you will know the shame that your dog is giving you. But the name's B, BumbleBee, on loan to MI6. Okay, and teamed with a human partner. Bee's trapped in the middle of a Cold War plot to disrupt a British secret intelligence. But when their base is destroyed from within, it's up to Bee to discover if there's a traitor in their midst. And in the spy world, alliances can change just as easily as Cybertronians. For a long-time Transformers writer and British super spy aficionado John LaBarber of the pirate ship Barbarossa, Optimus Prime and Action Man writer from Cybertron with Love is the official prequel to the new BumbleBee film in theaters December 2018. Mikey, what do you think of this comic idea?
I'm kind of into it.
It sounds cheesy. If they play it to be cheesy, then I'm all for it.
If this was being written by John in 2010, 2011, I would be a lot more refrained.
Yeah.
Because while I think Foundation and Defiance age fairly well for what they are, it was clearly a guy who was kind of learning what he was doing with this kind of stuff. He was very concerned with tying up the loose ends, and he hadn't gotten to the balance he's gotten these days.
Right.
This is modern John Barber, and the guy likes a bit of fun.
I think you should maybe be a little bit hesitant just because it being a movie title.
Oh, God, yes.
Who knows what kind of restrictions are placed on him of what he can do.
There will be loads.
Yeah.
There will be ridiculous amounts. But he's also, the way he, again, just going into the John Barber of today, he'll probably use this to tie up literally every plot hole that's ever existed in the movies, up to and including last night.
He'll try, bless him.
Opposite his main IDW wall, there's just a movie wall that he's been building quietly on his own for years.
I think
waiting for his opportunity.
I think what you should do is, if that happens, oh no, it's not Michael Bay, so he can't fucking ruin it. I was gonna say if it was Michael Bay, the movie could then do what it's always done and then completely shit on the comics from what they've tried to fix and set up.
Yeah, but now it's Travis Knight, and he might read a comic. Yes. I don't know, but there's a better chance.
A much better chance, yes.
I also dig the cover. Apart from the fact that Bumblebee looks like he is existing on another plane with those eyes.
He's also fucking hench as shit. Look how fucking beefy he is.
Yep, but it's nicely colored. I like the layout. I love the fact that how do we show it's the 1960s? Every woman has that hair.
Yes. It's the only hairstyle people remember from that era.
Yep. And if you scroll down, it's just like pictures of people with that hair.
Oh, God, it is. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, in all honesty. I don't think this will be like John's magnum opus. But I think it'll probably be like, yeah, it's fun.
I'm a bit concerned about the artwork because it'll probably be movie we still don't know what the movie robots are going to look like, do we?
No, but
we have an idea, and they can't probably stray too far.
I suspect Bumblebee will still look like Bumblebee. So
yeah. In this comic, at least for the cover, he's shown to have a mouth. So whether he does for the movie or not, who knows? Very kissable lips on that cover, though.
Yep,
big kissable lips.
What do spies do in action movies, especially 60s action movies, Andy?
Are you saying he's going to kiss the girl?
I'm saying he'll probably pull a Sean Connery. And he'll just like, I said no. Did you? Yes.
45 no's and 1 yes is still a yes. Moneypenny. Take your punch off. James Bond did fuck a lot of women, though.
Yeah, and he beat a lot of them beforehand.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Ooh.
He did. There was a lot of punching, and then it just hit me again.
Oh dear, no.
Yeah, it was very awkward. Look back at those movies and have a bit of a critical mind on it. You'll be surprised how quickly you get uncomfortable.
Oh,
I think the time he tried to pretend he was Japanese. Which was basically, here we have Sean Connery,
Oh,
who
no.
looks like Sean Connery, with a tan,
Oh no.
saying things in a funny accent.
Oh no.
And then, konnichiwa.
Oh.
And you're just like, oh no. And then they play into the fact that the whole Japanese are short stereotype that is kind of bollocks.
Oh no.
And then it's just like, they find the shortest Japanese people they can to fill up. So it's just like this towering Scots wading through these tiny midget people.
Oh my god.
And of course, he gets laid.
I just imagine.
But she dies.
Oh well, that's good. I guess. See, I just imagine me and you in the background of those shots, just going, "Nani des, nani des,
Just pointing at him.
Gaijin, Gaijin." They're just looking at us like, "No, he's Japanese. Don't worry." No, you're being trucked by a stupid Scotsman. You crazy people.
Just like pointing at each other. Look at us! No, look at him! Look! Oh no, they did. I just remembered. They gave him fake slanty eye, almond eye look.
Did they give him big buck teeth as well? Because that was kind of the style back then.
No, but I think one of the people who was helping to dress him had them.
Ooh, fantastic.
I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but it stuck with me.
Yeah, and people criticize me for liking Die Another Day. At least mine's not horribly racist. It's still not good, though. It's got horrific CGI, but, you know, Pierce Brosnan doesn't pretend he's Asian.
No,
That's a
thank
plus.
Christ.
Yeah. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next 2 bits of news then, please?
Yeah, so first up, fuck you, Elkstillhedge. I know you're listening. I know you're out there. I know, because you bragged.
That's right, you
You
did.
bragged, and that was a mistake.
You've made an enemy this day.
You and the baby, you're both on the same list.
Oh, dear. I thought the baby made you her enemy rather than the other way around.
It's an listen, at this point, a fight's a fight.
People say it was
And
an
I think-
unfair fight between me and a baby. I just saw it as a challenge for the baby.
Cut to her holding my arms behind my back.
Oh, see,
And she's just sitting there giggling.
I had the idea of a sling, and it was the David and Goliath fight. Mikey just with a bruise on his temple, bleeding.
Just her nappy instead.
Oh God, that's some hard poop.
She'd do it. But yeah, so Ollies, we were talking about them a while ago. Someone got a Triptychon there for $12.
Yeah.
It turned out that was a pricing error.
Yes, but people did get it for that price. But it was certainly an error.
And then Ollies went, oh shit. But they decided they're going to, Triptychon is now on their shelves for the ridiculous price of $50.
Yeah, that's still hella cheap.
That is under half price.
Is that like 40, 50 pounds? Something like that?
That is 40, 45.
Yeah, okay.
So basically leader prices.
Yeah.
And then XL Hedge had to show he bought one, and it was in a car. And we all hate him now.
I know Mr. Stu has one as well.
Hmm?
So, Mr. Stu from Welcome to Kimia has one as well for that price.
Oh, God, he's not even human.
Well. Blah.
So yeah, if you're at a local Ollie's, you can check him out. The price is valid from May 16th to May 22nd, so you don't have a lot of time.
No.
At hearing this, you've got a couple of days.
Yeah, if they haven't gone already.
Yeah, but if you can, get in there. People are also spotting Windblade, Twin Twist, and Misfire. 3 figures people were sort of very interested in.
How much are they
So,
going
yeah.
for? Does it say?
Excuse me, it doesn't say a price. I'm just scrolling down now, see if anyone's posted anything. I
imagine they'd have to be pretty fucking cheap if they're going up against Triptychon, who's like $50.
Yeah, no one's listing anything as I'm scrolling down, but I doubt they're expensive.
No. Well,
So, yeah.
should we guess like $12, something like that, maybe?
I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep your eyes out, people.
Remember Mikey, if you love him, help him out.
Yeah. Help. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Help me.
Mikey deserves love too.
Yeah, we all want dinosaurs in our life. I'm the only one qualified to have one.
It's true. You're the only one who deserves it.
Yeah, and unlike Charles, I don't need to prove anything by having 2 doctorates.
Oh, that's right.
Just like, because you know what? There's no fucking benefit.
We gotta have you 2 fight.
He'd win.
A doctor and doctor fight.
He'd just start punching with. Please, he's already dead.
It's just me in the background. Go on, Charles, kill him. Kill him dead.
thought you were going to go like you in the background. Gaijin!
No, I'm just rubbing his shoulders saying, you're a killing machine, Charles.
You're a
wrecking
wrecking
machine.
You're a bum! Fight you bum!
Why, Andy? Why doth thou betray me? I don't know. Seemed funny at the time.
Oh dear. But moving on from that, we've got some more info on the toy lines for 2019: War for Cybertron, Studio Series, and BotBots, which I don't think we've heard of yet.
BotBots.
BotBots. You have to say it like that.
BotBots.
BotBot. There we go. So this is an info drop from TFW member Katz with a Z, who has revealed pretty much the general sort of wave. The wave assortment, build up and make up and all that jazz. So first up, Transformers Generations War for Cybertron. There will be 6 Voyager characters spread across 4 waves. 3 leader characters spread across 2 waves. I'm assuming that will mean like for maybe a third or a fourth wave, they'll just be repeating previous releases.
Yeah, I mean they've done that before multiple times, so yeah, that's not a huge shock.
11 Micromaster characters across 4 waves. Maybe the new Legend scale.
Maybe. I mean, what does Micromaster mean in 2018? Because I doubt it means what Micromaster did in the 90s or late 80s.
I think it's probably just going to be a new... They're going to rename the class, because that class gets changed more than anything else.
The Legends line. Yeah, because Legends, Cyberverse, what else has it been?
Oh, Scout.
No, Scout... No, yeah.
Scout was occupying it, and then they decided to make Scout something different.
Yeah. Now we don't have Scout. We haven't had Scout for a while now.
Yeah, and then Legends again before that.
Yeah, like if it was proper Micromasters, I'd be somewhat interested. The problem is, if it was Micromasters, I'd want them to be unique characters, like Micromasters were, and they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Or I doubt they would be. They'd probably just stick with here's a small Optimus, Bumblebee, and the thing because it's all on name recognition. But if it was like new characters or characters from the sports patrol or the military patrol, that'd be fucking cool. But I would be shocked if that was the case. Shocked.
I would be surprised.
Yeah.
Battle Masters, 10 characters across 4 waves. Assuming the new gimmick characters. Target Masters, maybe?
But wouldn't they just go in with, like, the normal... Oh, right, I see, yes, because there's Voyagers, there's Leaders. No, because then what's Deluxes then versus Battle Masters?
Don't know. Maybe Battle Masters be like melee weapons.
Yeah, like it's the stupid helmet dudes from The Last Night. Like something like that. Like, they're not like a proper action figure, but they've got a... Do you remember the movie that had the line where it was, here's a robot, they transform, but they are primarily a giant gimmick inside, like, that had the Spinosaurus, which had a big tail spinning thing.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
And finally, Deluxe, 14 characters across 4 waves. I think that's a pretty good layout, actually.
Doesn't sound terrible. It might be.
Deluxe is kind of where it's at, really, for the focus of lines these days. So.
Yeah, it's the best price point. You get the most bang for your buck, for the most part.
For BotBots, these are previously mentioned blind boxes, not of the War for Cybertron line, but rather a separate toy line for a newly registered trademark. It will consist of 72 characters across 4 waves.
Okay, so these are all leader scale, clearly.
No, I'm hoping. They're all like really complicated, like leader blackout kind of stuff.
Exactly, obviously.
Yeah, so I think we all know what these kind of things are.
Yeah.
They're common enough. Finally, Studio Series. 11 characters on 4 waves of deluxes.
That's not bad again.
Yeah, especially since by then we're probably into Bumblebee.
Yeah, that's probably what's taken into account, I guess.
So it's going to probably be a mix of previous movie characters and new Bumblebee characters. I'm trying to figure out who you could do.
Viking Bumblebee, Ice Attack Bumblebee, Night/Bumblebee.
Let's assume some of those are from old movies.
Pirate Bumblebee.
Pirate Bumblebee was probably it. No, World War II Bumblebee.
Samurai Bumblebee.
That's Drift. It's just all the old guys with Bumblebee heads.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think this would be a great opportunity to try and do a better version of Crosshairs, for instance.
Which one was... Oh, Crosshairs with John DiMaggio with the coat. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I hate how they do the coat in toys.
Yeah, I mean, plastic. You know, what can you do?
Yeah, and like maybe a new deluxe barricade or something like that.
Yeah.
Voyager, 6 characters across 4 waves. I know Bone Crusher's already rumored. So, I think there's some potential there.
Yeah.
And later, 3 new characters across 2 waves.
One of those has probably got to be a new Bumblebee or something like that.
Well, thing is, Studio Series, if they're sticking with the design intent, they'll be concerned about scale.
Maybe, but I would have thought they'd just, because it's the Bumblebee movie, they'd have like a super deluxe Bumblebee, which would be the leader scale one.
In the movie, he has a power-up armor.
Does he? Oh, well, there you go. Or are you just guessing?
No, I want him to have a power-up armor.
Oh, okay.
I want him to have power-up armor.
Is he going to have to rip somebody apart to do it? Like Jetfire?
No, he just crawls inside this mech, but it's just a taller Bumblebee. Like, it looks exactly the same, it's just got, a hole in the middle.
Alright, yeah, I'd go with that. I'd go with that.
I'll throw this in as well. Power of the Primes, Prime Master Wave 2 are out in the UK. They have been sighted at UK retail in Asda. Reports are coming from Derby. These are Alpha Trion Alchemist Prime, otherwise known as Landmine and Submarauder. So keep your eyes out for those in the UK. Andy, wind us up with some convention news.
Sure, last bit of convention news is from TF Nation 2018. We have an announcement that Lee Stringer is going to be coming to TF Nation. He was on the Marvel UK comics back in the day, and he's also done a load of other stuff, such as Action Force, Robo Capers, and Combat Colin, which I hear is a big deal. Like Mr. Tricky was talking about it last night, and I was like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, mate. No idea. He's also done a lot of work on the Beano and the Dandy, and those are both very, 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 very British comics. So if you're American, don't worry about not knowing them.
No. Like, you had Dennis the Menace?
Yes.
We had Dennis the Menace.
Yep. Exact same name. Different look.
Yeah. Very different.
Had a dog that looked more like a sheep.
Yes.
Was never a fan, personally. Wasn't for me. If they weren't robots, they could get fucked in my eyes.
I think they were once.
Were they? Oh, Jesus.
My friend of mine had all the annuals.
Oh, God.
So
wow.
all the annuals.
So, yeah, as I said to Mr. Tricky last night, this isn't a guest for me, and I'm assuming, we made the assumption as well that it wasn't a guest for you, but Mikey, do you have any thoughts on this guy coming?
I have to admit, my first thing was, Sonic the Comic.
Oh, did he work on Sonic the Comic as well?
Yeah, I care more about that.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I also didn't know who he was.
No. That's okay. That's okay.
Not, it's just, this is an age where I wasn't involved in creative teams and stuff like that. I was just reading stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And we've made it apparent and clear quite a few times that the Marvel comics were not our era. So, that's fine. That's it. We're done for this week's news, Mr. Mikey. It's all done and dusted. So I guess because we didn't talk about what we did last week, we can talk about what we've done for the past 2 weeks then, Mr. Mikey, if you can remember.
Yeah, I'll boil it down into a quick summation. Well, quick for me. Let's see. Digimon Adventure Try Movie 6 came out.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the final one. I have mixed feelings.
Was one of the feelings I'm really glad it came out and finished, unlike Evangelion, which is still going.
No, Andy, he's working on it. He's
fucking not.
It's been nearly a decade, but he's working on it. But so reference-wise, I thought the first movie was good. Thought the second movie was as good. Thought the third movie was great. Fourth and fifth movies had a lot of problems, mostly with pacing. This one, on the one hand, I think the resolution of the plot is pretty strong. There's some good emotional moments, good character moments, some decent action. The upgrade form at the end is fun. It's silly, but it's fun. And I like the culmination ending where, the epilogue. I like that. I think it's quite sad at times, but I think it works. On the other hand, a lot of plot threads are left hanging. A lot of plot threads. So yeah, what I liked, I really liked. I just think that I was surprised by the lack of resolution. But, if you've been liking these movies, I think you'll get a lot out of it. If you haven't been liking these movies, it's not going to change your mind.
Okay.
Still think it really did peak at that number 3, which I just thought was brilliant. Anime-wise, caught up on my shows over the weeks. Persona is the only one I'm behind on, but only by an episode.
How many episodes is that going now?
7.
7, okay.
And I think it's going to full 20-something. So, still enjoying it. really think they need to do more with Ren, Ren, the main character, because he really does feel like that self-insertion character whose responses are, you are clicking this option.
Sure.
Like, they did such a good job in Persona 4 the animation with you and making him someone that I engaged with and liked, and who was just, active, and it felt like he was there. Here he feels more like an observer.
Does he feel more like the guy from the Persona 3 movies?
Yeah. Which I get why they do that. I really genuinely understand, but
disappointing though. Sure.
For me, it is anyway.
Yeah.
I've seen some reviews and stuff saying like, "Oh yeah, I love that. He's not getting in the way of the story." I'm just like, okay, but I like the story, but he is supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be in it, and I'm not supposed to be pretending to be him this time. So I'd like if he was a bit more active. But when he does do something, it's fun. The visuals are really good. I'm curious where it's going at the moment. I kind of wish the framing device would go away.
Oh.
I don't know. I find it a bit distracting. So far, it's not Persona 4 levels of amazing, but it's a pretty solid show, in my opinion.
Okay.
So it's worth watching, is what I'd say. It is making me really want to play the game as well, because I think a lot of my problems would go away in the game scenario.
Oh, more than likely, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if some of the problems it's having is that they're trying for a little bit too much of a direct translation.
Right.
Let's see. My Hero Academia, continuing at pace. The story is gaining some ground, setting up the plot for the next. They sort of finished the first arc and are moving on to the second one. Not sure I'm entirely into the concept, but I think it's coming together pretty solidly. I would say this is the weakest season of the 3.
Right.
But, it's still above pretty much any other shonen anime you're going to be watching. So, like, as long as you can enjoy the main characters and the action scenes, that's fine. For the love of God, stop putting up every time a character appears for the first time in an episode who they are and what their quirk is. We know. And if we don't know, we're not going to learn now. Let's see, there's a couple of other little things in there. The show that goes by no name, otherwise Steins Gate, haven't caught up for that for the last 2 weeks, because going back to that show is an emotional roller coaster.
I was going to say, you're still recovering emotionally from it.
Geez. It's just like, I know this is not the happy story. This will not end well.
Has the thing happened yet in it that you mentioned to me from the video game? The book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think. No, not yet.
That's going to be coming though, surely, right?
Yeah. The bad things are coming.
Okay.
Bad things are coming, Andy.
I'm looking forward to when I hear that from you.
Everybody's dead. Darling in the Franxx. Caught up on that.
Oh yes.
Didn't see any of that coming.
Which bits? Oh, well, yeah, I suppose you can't say because in case it spoils.
It's huge spoilers.
Yeah,
but didn't see any of that coming. That's a good show.
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
That's a pretty solid show. Also, wow, 9 Alpha, blonde-haired motherfucker.
Yep.
Whether you boy, girl, agendered individual, wherever they fall in the spectrum, we honestly don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They're a dick. And I require them to be punched through something at some point. Not their robot, them.
Yep.
Emphasizing that. But yeah, I think shit's about to kick off. Because the narration for the end of the last episode is, oh, you fucking think. You fucking think so, do you? Let's see. Oh, I had like 3 or 4 things I found that I wanted to watch that I didn't get a chance. Like, they're episode 1s of things that are airing.
Oh, that are currently going at the moment.
Yeah, but I cannot remember their name. So we'll switch to Rider briefly.
Rider
Build. I'm finally into Build properly.
Oh, okay.
I think the character's work has caught up to the plot. And it's got good momentum. I'm very curious to see where it's going.
What was it that did it for you? Was it Cobra Rider System Evolution? Do. Was that what did it?
Kind of, yeah. It did kind of.
I thought that was mine.
Once that, because like suddenly Banjo's really got some really good character work. Sento's got good character work. Gentoko Rogue is getting good stuff.
It makes what happened in that Heisei movie that you're going to talk about very soon really interesting as well, doesn't it?
It makes everything very interesting. But yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm into it. New episode was good. Interesting ending. Kind of explains a few things.
Oh.
It's almost 99% sure where Genius Form is going to come in.
Oh,
Or how
that's
it's
his
gonna come
final
in.
form, isn't it? Genius
Yeah.
form, yeah.
But yeah, interesting stuff with Rogue. Like the idea that Rogue is actually now the weakest rider because he's been in the least fights.
Yeah. And that's what,
Which
see, the way I took it is emotional kind of trauma as well he's going through.
Yeah, because like hazard level is related to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And one, he actually hasn't. When you think about it, he's been out of action pretty much, like out of major action, pretty much since his first fight with the Rabbit Tank forms.
Yeah. I think they've done a fairly decent way of explaining the power levels in this show.
Yeah, the scaling, we'll say.
Yeah, that's a better
Like,
way to phrase it, yes.
You know, Grease fights a lot.
Yes.
Ergo, he develops a lot. It's just like, of the three main guys, he's the slowest developer, but he's still more active than Rogue, so Rogue is falling behind. I think that works nicely, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very curious with the new one, because I ended up seeing a couple of promo images, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Because there's one image in there, and I'm just, are you pulling this now?
Images of what, sorry, of the next Rider show?
Of the next episode.
Oh, next episode, okay.
Like, not the preview, but just the little, like, they do, like, 4 or 5 stills.
Right.
And it's just one of them. I don't want to say what it is, just because people might think it's a huge spoiler, it might not. And I'm just like, okay, a little surprising, but we'll see where this goes. Also watched a couple of movies. Kamen Rider Genom versus Kamen Rider Laser. So this is the final Another Ending movie. This is the ending. Like, as far as we know, this is the cutoff point of Kamen Rider X8.
Yeah, the last one.
Now, I will also say it ends in a way where it could very much come back.
Oh, yeah. I think it's done like that, though, for future movies.
Yeah, like,
More so
just
than
so you know,
anything else.
The game is never over, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
they got a market. They can always milk that cash cow.
Yeah. It is interesting because Kuroto's played very dark in this.
Yes.
Like, a lot heavier, but I get it because it's playing into the whole he's now gone full divine. But it's also, there's a lot of very subtle character work with him. Like, a lot of looks and phrasings and everything else. And if you're paying attention, you know, hang on, that's a moment. Good action in this one, fun. Kronos, a lot of people I heard was saying like, oh, I'm so sympathetic to Masamune now. I'm just like, no.
You've been fooled then.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, my son, you should never have been born. There are bigger problems with you than that.
Yeah.
You're a terrible person.
He's only viewed as a good guy in this movie because he's trying to stop the main antagonist of this movie. If he was let loose again, he would go right back to what he was doing before.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that
let us not forget.
Yeah, like he talks to Laser, and the first thing, Baksho bike, and it's like, oh, you prick,
fucking changed,
you utter prick.
Yep.
I still like your son more than you, and I love the ending. I thought
you appreciate a god.
Yeah, damn straight. I really like the ending. I thought it was played one again. There's a lot of we found a next step in solving a problem, but the problem still isn't solved. And it's a nice rounding off of Kuroto's story, which this movie series has been about. And Laser's got a good bit. Also, like, it is, I know what they're going for at the ending, and it's just like, okay, final ending. But it's also like, you could very easily do a movie about Kuroto again. Yeah, you could, like, how things work in this universe wouldn't be hard, you know. And yeah, and like there's still more X8 fiction coming. Mighty Novel X is coming out, the book that's out in a month, which is coming with a new Gashat.
No, it's just a key ring.
Oh, is it a key ring?
It has no electronics to it. It's the shape and size of a Gashat, but it has no electronics in it. From what I hear.
Right. To be fair, that's still cool.
It's
to get with a book.
It'd still be better if it actually had some sound effects to it.
Well, I really wish it said Mighty Novel X.
Yeah,
at least. But yeah, so X8 still very popular. Genom is still ridiculously popular. So I wouldn't put money down in this is the last you're seeing of anyone, especially if they keep up what they're doing with the crossover movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. Best of the three by a decent margin.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, last Rider thing is Heisei Generations Final, the big crossover movie between Build and X8, and theoretically the last of the movie wars. At least they said that there was final in the title for a reason.
I'd say I don't know whether to believe that or not. I mean, there will
Me
still
neither,
be Kamen Rider movies, and I'm sure they'll still have crossover. So, what's that mean?
Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If they end on this after years of fucking up these crossovers, because that's what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
oh boy, yes.
When Megamax was the best of the old ones, I don't think Megamax is great.
That was the one with the goop lady, isn't it? As Gentro's girlfriend. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that, and Chris freaked out.
Yeah, it's got good O's bits in it. I think that's
does.
got solid, but I think Forza was never my favorite at the time. So
Did you finish
or
it?
like, I did.
Oh, I never finished it.
But then like the double bit was good in the first one, and after that I can't. Like, I can barely think of any good bits.
Because they all kind of mushed together.
Yeah, and they had a terrible format.
Yeah.
It wasn't all... Like, it didn't get... Like, the best thing that came out of it was the Gaim bit in the Drive movie, which was basically a Gaim movie where Drive sort of wandered in at the end. And, like, I enjoyed all the Gaim stuff, and then, like, Drive showed up, and I was just like, you're ruining the shot. You're ruining the shot. We've got all 4 of the guys in one shot, and you're ruining it. But then after driving Ghost, they started changing the format into an actual movie instead of these little segments. And like the last one, the first Heisei Generations film, was great. Loved it. Thought it was really, really solid. This one, good, very solid, very strong, very well put together. And if this is the last one, I think that's a shame because they finally got the fucking format down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here's how it went. Strong movie for the first half hour, right? Action was solid. The overall plot is good. I like the idea that there's a bit of a time difference because, like, you got Bill's world and Exade's world, and Bill's world is running much faster. So Parrot disappears for 2 years, whereas for Exade he's gone for like a week. All fun, and then fuck this movie.
But in a good way.
Just fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Because Eiji comes in. Hino Eiji, Kamen Rider Rose, who I think they're implying doesn't have his powers.
It seemed to, yeah.
Like, so I'm wondering either they're retconning things, or is this set between O's and Megamax, maybe? Could be. Because, like, Megamax had lots of time travel woo-woo in it. So, and suddenly the group has a team dad. Because he's like this proud father the entire time. And then they bring in Unk. And I wasn't supposed to get watery-eyed, Andy. I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to be strong. I was going to be like, okay, it's a cameo thing. It won't be too big. And it was big. And it was memorable. And the first interaction between 2 characters was amazing. And then it gets better. And then the fucking end of the movie. And I'm just like, you bastards.
Yeah, and you made it worse for yourself, like you said to Chris on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Or you could have, potentially. Potentially it's not as awful as you've made it into, Mikey.
But it might be.
It might be.
And it's big, like, it's one of those things where, oh, it's being interpreted as, oh, look, he's having the moment. And it's just like, but I know the fiction. And he's not, that's not a happy look.
No.
And either that's a yay look, or a god, or it's a, this isn't real look. This isn't real for me look. And I'm just like, someone knows. All I'm saying is someone in that studio knows. In terms of the other writers, Ghost probably has the largest role, but that does lead to an amazing scene with Genom.
Well, not really. I mean, he doesn't do that much in the film. He's there, but he doesn't do anything.
He's there, but he brings Onari with him.
Yeah, Onari does something, but
yeah,
he's
great.
barely there.
It's great, though. I love it.
Yes.
Mr. Big, Gaim and Forza are probably the least prominent.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But they do have very good fight scenes. Gaim especially, like the final fight with him, like there's some great choreography. Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. Surprisingly solid. All the Exade writers get at least one short scene where they do something epic. Which I thought was nice. Genom's is hilarious. I was just like, oh man, coming off another ending and seeing this is a bizarre feeling.
Yeah, because he's like the goofiness on him in that is turned up way higher than it was for any of those extra movies.
Yeah, but I will say, Mr. Trick, he should have met Gaim. Who are you? I'm Coda. I'm a space god. No, you're not. I am.
Perhaps
No,
we can
what?
interact on a similar level. Finally, someone who's on my level.
He just like wants to hang out with him constantly. I will call you Kazuraba Kotoshin.
I liked
Please don't.
I liked how Bancho was like, oh, he's an idiot. Oh, he's a super idiot. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, fun movie. Yeah. The only other noteworthy thing I saw Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
Electric Boogaloo. So I liked the first Deadpool movie, but I got really tired of all the backstory stuff.
Right.
I actually rewatched it during the week just before I saw the second one. I was like, okay, I like a lot of this, like the Deadpool stuff, everything from like the modern day, really fun. Not mind blowing, a little safe, but for what it is, but fun. But the backstory stuff, I just have no interest in. Like, okay, it's setting up he had a girlfriend and how he got his powers, and Ajax is kind of a crap villain, and Angel she's there as a villain. But then it gets into modern stuff, and that's super fun. So Deadpool 2 has none of the backstory stuff. I thought it was quite a bit better than the first one. I laughed a lot. It's got some really... It's gone completely ham on the references and the fourth wall. Like, the fourth wall is gone by the end of this movie. Like, there's a moment where he just is literally just listing off famous X-Men issues to a character.
Okay.
Which you wouldn't have gotten in the first one.
No.
And it's like he's quoting Avengers, Age of Ultron, and referencing Batman, and Green Lantern gets a full-on call-out in this movie. Really, really fun. Also managed to do the thing I think is very important in a good Deadpool story, is that you have to have the heavy. Because the best Deadpool stories for me are ones that have like a dramatic core and have drama going on, and then you have these witty inserts and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think far too many writers go, hey, we're going to be wacky, and then they write a series of wacky stories, and sometimes they're fun and sometimes they're just dumb, but there's nothing to them. There's no weight to them at all, so they're forgettable, in my opinion. This had a nice balance of the serious and the jokey. Cable's fun. Domino's amazing. Oh, I love Domino in this. TJ Miller's in it, which is super awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's been confirmed he will not be in another movie.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Depinder
the taxi driver's in it, and he's great. A lot of people don't like the kid character. I thought he was pretty strong. I just think it's a character you're not supposed to like, if you know what I mean.
Sure, one of those ones.
And Colossus, loved Colossus. Absolutely loved him. Like, I thought it was noticeably better. I don't know what I'd give it as a rating, but yeah, I think if you like the first one, you will like this. Whether you like it more or not will depend on what you're looking for in the film. So, but check it out, guys. Yeah, that was kind of my week in terms of things I've done. Oh, I did get... Oh, well, I mentioned it now. I got in the post SH Monster Arts 2002 IDW Rulers of the Earth Godzilla.
Oh, nice. You got it finally. Cool.
Needs effects.
Oh, does it not come with any?
Nope.
Ooh, that's a shame for a Godzilla who's, does all the things.
Yeah, like, really does need at least an atomic breath and a stand.
Are you going to buy, because I know you can get these, the little stages that have little tiny buildings so you can stand around buildings?
Been looking at those, but they're a little bit expensive at the moment.
Really? How much are they going for the
20
most
or 30?
Ooh.
I'm just like, not right now.
Yeah.
My first interaction with the Monster Arts of my own, where I'm not just looking at the box, the engineering and the sculpt is purposefully limited. What I mean by that is, all the base joints for the kind of crazy figure arts level articulation is there, but they didn't want him to do it.
Right.
So they didn't add the extra cuts and everything else to add extra articulation. He is able to do exactly what the suit is able to do, maybe a tad more. So if you're not comfortable holding a high-end action figure that's not crazy articulated, but can do what you saw on the screen,
right,
he's not for you. I really do like him. The sculpt is amazing. The head articulation is great and like so expressive. He does exactly what I need him to do, and God almighty, those tails are nuts. Every single segment of the tail is jointed. And they're tight joints as well. There's not a single loose one. It's a bit nuts. Would I get another one? Maybe. but I'd be a little cautious because I know for a fact, based on what I've read from other people, is that largely all the Godzillas feel the same. So you're not going to get a new experience beyond the sculpt design or one of the sound effect ones.
Yeah.
So if I was going Monster Arts again, I'd probably try to get someone else. Maybe Mechagodzilla or Destroyer or something, But honestly, I think he's worth getting. Like I said, I got him because he's the IDW one. I love that design, so I'm really, really happy with him. I can definitely say Monster Arts is not going to be for everyone, though.
No.
And that's not just the price, but just the nature of the figure. So yeah, that was my week. Andy, what about you?
What have I been up to for the past 2 weeks or so? I decided to watch Darling in the Franxx, basically catch up with that. So I've done up to episode 18 as of today. That is a good show. I'm disappointed now that I'm going to have to be waiting. I suppose not many more weeks now till it's finished, really, right? Because it's 20-something.
Yeah.
24, 23, something like that.
We're definitely towards the end goal.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. It feels like it in a sense. I'm wondering if it's going to get a second season.
I don't know. I kind of don't want it to.
Same. I guess it depends how quickly they wrap up everything, because it still feels like they could rush the end, because they've still got a lot to explain.
And that, the thing is, though, it's not like I feel they've come up with all these things they wanted to do, and someone in the writing thing is like, oh crap, we've got 2 episodes. Did we explain anything?
Yeah.
It feels like this is all very purposeful.
Yes. Yeah, I just hope they don't rush some of the extra stuff to build. But it's good. It's got lots of good world building. It's very pretty. It's weird because it's one of those things where they say it's a mecha anime. Mecha's in it.
Yeah.
But it's not really a mecha anime.
Mecha are a tool for the plot.
They are, and that's probably the best way to do it. But we haven't been in their mechs for a good few episodes at this point now.
No, they haven't.
Too much character woo woo.
Yeah. All that moment they're just like, hey, everyone's happy, and I'm just sitting there going, no, this will not end well.
Rabachi in the corner, rubbing his hands. I also watched a movie called Game Night. Have you heard of that, Mikey?
Heard of it, but I don't know what it's about.
It is about these people are having a game night, shockingly, and it's basically a setup for the game is one of their friends gets kidnapped, and they have to go and find them. Except that the twist is it's actually really happening, and then comedy ensues, and it's fine. It's not that funny, but it's okay.
I assumed it was a horror by the description.
No, it's not. It's more comedy than anything else. The way I would recommend it for you watching Mikey, if you were ever tempted, is background movie. It's a good background movie. You don't need to be that invested. I don't think, for me, it wasn't that hilarious. It was just okay. It's like, all right, okay. So I'll watch that. What else did I do? I'm looking at my list of stuff. I too caught up with Build, so I've seen episode 36 as of today. And I also watched the Heisei Final Generations movie Malarkey and the Exade and other movies 1, 2, and 3, which were Blade and Snipe, Poppy and Parado, and Genom and Laser. But I'm going to wait until we probably do a podcast on them to kind of mention any of them, because I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. Because I did with Exade, and I was saying to Mikey, hey, probably need to wrap up Exade completely now that all the things are out for it, right? Mikey was like, I'm so tired.
Please, Andy, leave me be.
No, we must do. I didn't do the other Exade podcast with you, so I want to do this one now. I want to talk about Ladan. Dan the man. What a beefcake. What else have I been up to? I don't think I've talked about the Soto stuff I got recently, have I?
No, I've seen you tweet about it, but you haven't said anything.
Yes, I was going to talk about it last week, but didn't have the opportunity. I've got back into Soto because I've got money, so I can spend them. So I got Wave, the Build Wave, which has Rogue in it, as well as one of the Cog brothers, the Engine brothers. You need to have 2 sets of them to have both of them, but you have the pieces to make one or the other, not both. So
right,
I've got them in their combined form at the moment. And it also contained... Who was the other one? It's the one I haven't built yet because I want to sell it. It's Cell Phone and Wolf.
Oh, that's the bad one.
Yeah, I don't want him. I want to sell him at some point when I can find someone to. I wouldn't mind getting rid of most of the other build ones, the build forms, because I'm not too fussed by them. So I need to find someone to pawn them off onto.
No, not me.
Mikey.
Just so you know. No.
Mikey.
You want to keep all the ones I'd be interested in.
No, I don't. You don't want level 1 billion. You don't
I've
want
got
that.
one. He's looking at me right now.
Yeah, that's why you don't want it. So I was right.
No, and I don't want laser. I don't think the pseudo laser is very good because it was an early design and it shows.
It's all right. It's not that bad. Mine's fine. Yes, I also got the other wave that had in level 1 billion for Dan, Laser X, which I don't mind. It's got maybe a few too many stickers on it because it has to do the weird dragon pattern on him. But for the most part, I'm fairly happy with it. Rabbit and Tank as well. I still like all these Soto figures. They're very fun. They're very entertaining for what they are. I think they're all executed well. I knew I was going to like level 1 billion because I've already got Mighty Action X. So Maximum Mighty X, I should say. So I knew it was going to be one that I was going to enjoy. Laser I was a bit worried about because I heard as well that he was going to be loose and floppy and not very good, and mine's perfectly fine. I've got no issues with him. The only issue I do have is the knee. The plastic's being pushed apart, and there's obviously some plastic on the inside that's kind of pushing it apart, but I can't pop it open because I'm guessing the pieces have been glued together, and I'm not willing to try and crack it open just to get the knee back, so I'm just leaving it as is. I like Rogue a lot. Rogue came out really well. He's a great little figure. He's a good-looking rider as well, so that helps. And Rabbit and Tank are a lot of fun, and mixing them into Rabbit, Tank, Rabbit is both really good, which is a bit of a tongue twister. They're both very handsome figures. And I've gone on a big old binge and bought a load of Soto figures, which are on the way to me from Exade for the most part, because I've been wanting to catch up with that stuff recently. And, watching the Exade movies just was like, hey, you should probably do this, Andy. And I was like, okay. Fine. So lots of bad choices, but good choices all at the same time. Anything else of real value? I don't think so. Just Dark Soul in and doing Poopcast editing, and that's really been about it.
Looking Thundercats.
Yeah, there was Thundercats. Yeah, I almost forgot we had to talk about that. Now it's time to go back to the sadness. So. Yes, I mentioned on Twitter that we were going to... I wanted to talk about my thoughts on Thundercats as well. Thundercats Raw, to be specific. It is a show designed very much in the aesthetic stylings of Steven Universe, regular show, and Adventure Time. And as I've stated before on this show, that's not my art style for cartoons. I think this art style, for me, works better as a webcomic series or a comic. I think it's much better in that kind of avenue. And if this show was an ancillary show to a proper Thundercat show, as I'm going to call it, I think I'd be okay with it. It's not. This is the show that replaced the 2011 one. And it's very much exactly what you would expect a cartoon in 2018 to look like. It looks like it fits into that kind of market, and the reason it's done like this is not for any other reason apart from it follows a trend and people want to make money. So Cartoon Network greenlit it because it is the Teen Titans Go OKKO style of cartoon, which is the thing that they're pushing really heavily at the moment. That's why it's being greenlit, for no other reason.
I saw someone say it was like, oh well, it's because it's such a creative approach.
Bullshit.
It's like,
it's not.
No, it's not. Cartoon Network are frankly uncreative at the moment.
Yeah, they haven't been creative for a very long time.
And it's been very, very well documented about how they approach shows like this. And at the moment, they just want these 10 to 15 minute shows with this kind of aesthetic that pushes because it sells.
Yeah, which is understandable, but...
Yeah, I mean, I can't... But it's a very corporate, unpleasant way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But it's a business. They're not really in the business of making you happy, if you know what I mean.
I think the really interesting thing is people have been forgetting how history went, saying that the reason why the 2011 show failed was because no one watched it. And it's like, that is somewhat true. It's not the entire truth, but it is
there was a
it's
reason
the tip of an iceberg.
there's a reason no one watched it.
Yeah, because they decided to put it on the death slots.
Yeah.
Like they do for every show that they want to fail. They put them on in these slots which never get anybody watching them, and I'm pretty sure they didn't get any advertisement anyway.
Like all the Transformers shows they've aired in the last 10 years.
Yeah, there was a reason why they tried to make the Discovery the Hubba thing. I mean, it failed, but there was a reason why they tried to do it.
Like, Prime would not have aired for 3 seasons on Cartoon Network.
No.
It wouldn't have stood a chance.
No.
I have found, like, okay, so I saw the art style and I just threw up my hands and walked away, I'll be completely honest. And then I saw a clip, and it's just like, oh no.
It's exactly what I thought it would be. I don't know about you.
It's more Teen Titans Go than Adventure Time. Shall we say.
Yeah.
It has that kind of, like, what I would call cack-handed humor. Like, obviously I am
What does that mean, Mikey?
Just, hey, we're funny. Why? Because we're saying weird shit. And that's funny, right? Now, I am an old man, and I am an old man who grew up in Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls and other stuff I thought were genuinely funny. So maybe I'm just like, okay, I'm completely, not only am I the wrong audience, but I've got the wrong mindset. But I can watch Steven Universe and Adventure Time and go like, okay, sometimes you're not for me, but I see the quality. You know?
Yeah, sure.
And I can look at Teen Titans and go, I can see the lack of quality. And
I can see a garbage dumpster on fire.
yeah, and Thundercats at the moment, I've got the uncomfortable feeling down my spine, I'll be honest. I think it's going to lean towards the bad side of that.
Oh
but I was really shocked by the tone of a lot of people's responses.
It's weird, isn't it?
Nasty would be another way. Like, there's this thing, like, basically, hey, neckbeards, you didn't watch your stupid fucking cartoon now, and now you're trying to ruin this one for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, no. Like, the history of Thundercats is very well documented.
Yeah.
2011, and I'm saying this is someone who wasn't crazy about the show, by the way. It started off on airing, what was it, afternoons, or something like that?
Evenings, yeah, like
Evenings,
like 4 or 5 o'clock, I think it was, something like that.
Like the prime time slot to get both children after school and adults who are after work. Which, when you're doing a nostalgic show, is a huge audience to get. And then it shifted. It took like, what, 3 or 4 months hiatus out of nowhere.
Yeah, there was a massive gap for some reason.
And then it shifted to like Saturday mornings at 9 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And these days, the Saturday morning cartoon is dead, kids.
Yeah.
It is no longer the time to put something if you want it to be watched. It is the time. It's basically the only thing worse you could do is put it on in the middle of the night. Like if you put it on at 1 or 2 at night or something, or you did what they did with Korra and stuck it online.
Oh.
No, that because Nickelodeon does the same thing Cartoon Network does. It tries to kill its action shows.
Yeah.
Like, people say Nickelodeon had a lot of success with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There were a lot of rumors about behind the scenes trying to get that show, like, axed.
Oh, really?
So they could put on a new, more Nickelodeon-friendly style.
I didn't know that. I'm not surprised, but I didn't know that. Jesus.
Like, because, the Turtles show was quite mature.
It was, for the most part.
Yeah. And there were a lot of rumors that they were trying to get it axed so they could bring out something a lot more kiddie and what they saw as, stupid. To be blunt, because executives think children are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, we're getting one where the visual style is like, I'm much more cautious about this.
Yeah.
Coming out soon. But with this, like, the tone of just really unpleasant, hey, I'm from this generation, ye all fucked up. Like, Cartoon Network murdered the show. No one was watching it because no one could fucking find it.
Mm-hmm.
And they murdered it, and whether it was good or bad or nostalgia or not, it's no one's, like, the viewers were really genuinely not at fault. Because anyone who wanted to watch it hunted it the fuck down, but many people had real lives where you couldn't be getting up that early to watch cartoons. If you were getting up early, it was to go to a job or mind your family or whatever. So I would perhaps request, if anyone listening to this has taken the attitude of having a go at someone who says, I'm not entirely happy with this new iteration, especially after Cartoon Network killed the old one, maybe take a step back and think about it a bit.
I would also say, of course, there are the other people who are saying this looks like cancer and stuff like that, and they're going too far with how much they dislike it.
Exactly.
I mean,
again,
there's always that kind of... There's always that kind of thing. I have seen a couple of people saying, I don't like the look of the show. I don't think it's going to be good, and I don't think it's for me. And then I've seen, I've got a specific one in mind. I won't mention names and stuff, but I saw the guy respond to him by saying, it's a real shame that you're not open-minded about this, especially with how many viewers you have. And how many people follow you on Facebook. They'll just follow your idea. You should be open-minded and give this show a chance. And it's like,
hang on, whoa.
It's this guy's opinion. He's allowed to think what he's allowed to think, whether whether he likes it or whether he's not.
Watch it. Other people will do it if you do it.
Or don't be harshing on it before it comes out, because otherwise everybody else will harsh on it because you've harshed on it. It's like...
No. Don't tell people what to enjoy or not enjoy.
Yeah, just because they're successful and people appreciate their opinion doesn't mean that you should tell them to have the same opinion as you.
Brad Pitt comes out and says he doesn't like superhero movies. You do not get to tell him, hey, you've got a lot of followers. Maybe you should tell them that you're open-minded to the superhero movies.
I would also say to Brad Pitt, I understand where you're coming from, Brad.
We all have... We grow critical as we go older, Brad. We see things.
Yeah.
But like you said, like there is some vitriolic bastards on the other side of the argument as well.
Of course, yeah.
Like there is I'll be honest, like the tone is, I would say, is nastier on the one side. The language is worse on the other.
I think the reason for me it's more surprising that the other side even exists. Like you knew that there were going to be people who were going to be shitting on the show. I mean, I'm one of them.
That's what people do. Yeah, but we all knew there was going to be some dickhead who was just going like, cartoons, blah, blah, 1980s, blah, dicks.
Yeah, I did not suspect some people to be like, well, the 2011 show is bollocks, get on board with this show, etc., etc. I was like, wow, really? Yeah. I honestly didn't see that happening.
On the other hand, people watch Teen Titans Go.
They do, which is
they're
fair
wrong.
enough. Yeah,
like objectively, you're wrong. Like I can make a graph of scientific evidence of you being wrong, but I don't. It's a weird one to me.
It's
like
different.
we all used to be like that.
Of course, yeah.
And maybe it's simply like we're just seeing the next generation of young nerds growing up where they're not really developed the sense of social norms that act like a person.
Maybe. I mean,
but
I wouldn't be surprised if there's still people from our generation doing it as well, because, that's just how it goes.
I was going to say, some of the people I've seen saying that, again, not naming names, are people I know for a fact are older than both of us.
Mm.
And one of them, it was just like, this is patronizing. And it's unpleasant. It's an unpleasant feeling to be involved in the conversation about Thundercats right now.
I always do wonder if people have ever viewed when we've shitted on a show like Teen Titans Go, if they've ever construed what we say as to be the same kind of thing as we're complaining against, if you know what I'm saying. I wonder, because, I could see us ragging on stuff and people thinking it exactly from the same point that we're taking those kind of opinions from, if you know what I mean.
True. Like
I always hope we don't portray it in as a vitriolic way. Apart from Teen Titans Go, because it is cancer.
Oh, it is atrocious. It's contagious. I think one of the differences I think between like Twitter and podcasting is Twitter is where you communicate, podcast is where you entertain.
Yeah.
And I think we lean towards more extreme language sometimes because of the nature of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, it is easy enough to misconstrue that as, oh my god, they're being shitheads. And
which we are.
We try not. we are, but we try not to be. We're like, if we say something extreme, it's usually exaggerate for effect, because it's going like, well, reasonably, I'm not entirely sure the delivery of this show is blah blah. It's not very good for listening, is it?
No.
We're not David Attenborough. We have not his powers.
If only we did. If only we
we'd get all the bitches.
And then the immortality.
Damn straight. But I think Twitter, people at least are supposed to be putting forward a more straightforward version of what they're saying. Like, frequently it's as much as a lie as anything else on the internet. But I think that's when you get a bit more, or Twitter or Facebook or something like it. Social media is when you go like, okay, I know I'm stepping back because this, for me, feels uncomfortable.
It's always difficult when you're on social media and it is you looking at text, because sometimes text is difficult to figure out the context. Like, is it said in a sarcastic way? Is it said in a aggressive way? Is it said in a serious way? Like, you know, we have no emojis for these things.
And like when people do use emojis at the end of some of these things, it actually makes it worse.
Yeah, because that smiley face, is that a sarcastic smiley face? I don't know.
Or is that one of those smiley faces that's supposed to be like, this is my opinion. If you don't like it, well, no one likes that guy.
No.
Don't be that guy.
It's weird.
But yeah, basically, I would prefer if the dialogue around this could be mature. Have your fun, make your jokes, match the tone to who you're talking to, would be how I'd put it.
Did you see the video for this as well, where it showed, I guess, the creator, and he said, this is the show that he was apparently a big Thundercats fan, and he said in that video that this is the show the fans, if you were a fan, would make. And I thought to myself, and I was thinking, I'm pretty sure the 2011 show is the show a Thundercats fan would make.
Objectively, I honestly think that is, because that is the Voltron, that is the Samurai Jack, that is the show that we're, because the fans have nostalgia, and nostalgia makes them remember Thundercats is better than it was.
Oh yeah, totally.
The original, I mean. The original is not a good show.
No.
It's got an amazing opening.
Yes.
The animation for the actual show is shite, but
it's not shite. I'd say it's standard.
Standard back then was fairly shite.
Yeah, but for you can't say it's shite just because it is exactly what everything else was.
Can I say
at that
He-Man was shite? That is painful to watch sometimes.
They did it it felt like they did it on a very cheap budget. They did it in a very stylized way, doing it all rotoscoping and stuff, but yeah.
Just those run cycles, Andy.
Yeah, like some of them are real wonky.
Ropey. We'll say ropey.
Ropey's a good one for it, yes.
Ropey. And I think because nostalgia translates these things into being more mature or badass or whatever than we remember.
Oh, definitely.
That's why the 2000X He-Man was the way it was.
Yes.
That was how that was He-Man made from nostalgia. Thundercats 2011 was Thundercats made from nostalgia, because nostalgia is like, I'm an adult now. What would I do? And I do this mature show where people die, and ooh, there's a journey.
Yeah.
I don't think old school fans are going to be the ones making this show. Or at least I think what I mean is this is not the show they would make if they were making it, you know.
The only way I can construe
Snarf has robot back arms. Did you see that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I think Snarf might be a robot.
Oh, that's weird.
Because basically it was like his back opened and two giant crane arms came out.
All right.
I was like, what?
The only way I can construe this show as being made for the fans is lots of referential jokes based on that. But when he said it's going to have lots of action, I don't. It's not that I don't believe him. I just don't really. Well, I don't believe him. I don't believe him at all.
I think this guy might be telling the truth, and then someone he is the creative guy, and then the rest of the show he only has so much. There is a lot of people looking at his stuff. He's going to be telling you need to change that. You need to change that. You need to change that.
That could be very fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for us, basically.
Someone put something up, and I think this is a good one. It was an image of a lot of shows that are on Cartoon Network and such at the moment.
Oh,
different animation styles are important.
Yeah.
And it was DuckTales, Justice League Action, something else in Voltron. And I thought that was a very good point to make.
Yeah.
Like, visual styles are going to be varying. What's her name? Starlight?
On the Forces of Darkness or something like that?
Yeah, that's not a bad show in all seriousness. I thought that was a good example to put forward. I don't think people took it the way it was intended.
How did people take it?
By basically saying, oh, so you're supporting my argument. And it's like, you're all
bastards, as you were going to say.
Thundercats are on the loose.
I guess the best way that we can support the show is by not watching it.
I'll
me
see
and
an
you.
episode.
Okay.
I will watch one episode.
That's fair. Yeah, that's probably the fairest thing to do.
And if the humor gets me, I will try and stick around. And if it doesn't, I will walk away with no regrets.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That was our take on the Thundercat show. Not for us. We'll give it one try, but I also gave Teen Titans Go a few tries.
Same here. I tried.
It hurt.
They're getting a movie, Andy.
Oh, God, they are. But maybe there was one good thing about Teen Titans Go.
It's going?
No. I want to believe that the money it's made has fueled the Adult Swim thing that'll be coming up at some point.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you don't know, apparently, and this is only half confirmed, the original Teen Titans is getting kind of a Samurai Jack-esque reboot at some point in the future.
Yeah.
So, hey, if Teen Titans Go brought in money for that, and then people watched Teen Titans Go and said, I missed the old show, and someone at Adult Swim said, fuck yeah.
I have a feeling it must be at least the reaction to Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
To see how many people said, what the fuck?
Yep, and Samurai Jack went down like, fantastic.
It did well, didn't it?
Did very well.
Yeah.
Like, it was their most viewed show for a good long while. So I think these kind of revivals are going to become a thing.
I hope so. As long as it did well, of course.
Yeah, like Young Justice is, it's been announced it's going to be streaming on DC Universe.
I'm going to try it, but I remember neither you nor I enjoying that show at all.
But again, our reaction was always like, we can see why other people do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, very much so.
I'll never forgive them for Wally, though. You fucked up Wally.
Never forgive.
You made Wally the slowest one. Why?
Because he is?
Oh, no, he's not.
He is now, bitch. As I smoke my big corporate cigar. Get me there.
Oh man,
we need to get him on for an interview.
Oh my god,
It never happened.
Be able to do it. I can speak perfect English.
I know.
He can.
I know.
He's fluent.
That's why I'm like, we need to get him on for a show.
I couldn't do it.
Oh, I could.
I'd just be like.
I'd also be like, send me an autograph picture, motherfucker.
I'd be panicking. I'd just like, your ass looked nice in that one shot.
One shot? Okay, every shot.
I took that 17 takes. They didn't want them, but I took them.
Made sure they had enough. But that's where we'll end this week's show. So thank you everybody for watching this episode of Moonbase 2. There will be an episode of Moonbase Woo Woo that goes up for free for everybody, which is the X-Aid one, which you did with Mr. Chris and Mr. Matt. That one was chosen for the one to go up as free because someone requested it for a while ago, so it seemed like a good choice to do it. And also, Chris is fairly popular, so we'll probably get some good press that way. What a weenie. So that will have gone up by the time this goes up, because I want to get that done tonight once this is finished. And obviously this podcast will go up on Monday. So, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if they want to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and you can find me on YouTube as DeWolf3. If you want to contact us here on the podcast, you can send us a tweet over on the Moonbase 2. Rather than at the Moonbase 2. It's hard to say, and I'm sore. At the Moonbase 2 on Twitter. If you want to send us an email, the email address is themoonbase2@gmail.com. If it's something you want read out, I'll do it. I'll read end and route, really.
Anything.
Hang on. Dear Dr. O'Sullivan, to whom it may concern, this is confirmed that you are from Paula Ruin, TUS Supervisor 069777777. I gave the wrong number, but this is a form that was on my test.
I would also recommend don't send Mikey questions about medical problems you might have. He's not
wrong
that kind of doctor.
Send them to Charles.
I was going to say that as well. I have this green toenail, Charles. What do I do?
Why did he send us a message? It's like, what's going on?
Yes, spam transmissions with questions about toe fungus.
Also, Jeremy knows about microphones if anyone would like to do podcasts, so he needs lots of questions about that.
Yes.
And Yoshi's angry.
What is a summer flange, Jeremy?
Well, yep. And send Russian Daryl messages.
There you go, yeah.
And just send Yoshi pictures of things that piss him off, like Aubrey Stitterson from G.I. Joe.
There we go.
Yeah,
now we're
because I like listening to Yoshi go mad.
I bet you wouldn't if you lived with him.
I don't, though.
No, that's true. Also,
does.
Mikey, what's going to be happening with From the Files of Teletron 2 this week? Because there have been no comics.
There has been 9 comics.
Well, there's been one, but that's for the Patreon people.
Yep. There has been one comic released, which is the Transformers Visionary final issue. Unless an Optimus Prime gets out this week, and we haven't seen a preview or anything.
No.
We've got nothing for the month, really. So, it's it's looking like the free show will probably be skipped this month.
Yes.
I mean, we could do one of our side comics, but then we'd have nothing for our Patreon once Visionary's done. Because I think we're going to have a month or two where we're going to have some free space.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to be doing those. So unfortunately, unless we get something out really fucking quick, we're going to have to apologize now and say Teletran 2 will not be out for May. But we will have a lot to cover in June.
Oh yeah,
That looks
my
nice.
God, yeah.
So yeah, and especially since we're rolling into Unicron soon. So keep an eye out for that. So apologies there, guys. It's beyond our control.
Blame IDW.
Andy, blame IDW. Like for all we know, they're sitting there on their fat cats. Not that they are fat cats. They're sitting on their fat cats.
Those poor kitties.
Well, it's just John using one as a footrest.
Wow.
Editor in chief. Don't need to care. We said that, didn't we?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I was just like, we did announce that John was coming back.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so Andy, what about you? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, CCTFW, on YouTube as Scrubber Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, we're on iTunes, we're on Facebook, we're on Libsyn. We're on most of those RSS feed places that you go to, as far as I'm aware. If there are other RSS places that we're not on, let us know, and we'll go there as well somehow.
Someone send us a list.
Yeah, and we'll check it twice. We'll see if it's naughty or nice. You can also head to YouTube and go to Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast if you want to view this podcast that way. If you don't want to download it, you can do it like that. Or you can go over to the ccbunker.weebly.com and get all your links and stuff that way. And if you want to help out the show, you can head over to patreon.com/moonbase2 and just do $2 each month. You'll get the free version a week early as well. You'll get From the Files to Teletran 2 plus extended version a week earlier than the free ones. You'll also get interviews a week early. And you'll also get Moonbase Woo Woo each month as well. And that's it. So thank you very much for listening, everybody. Hope it's been fun and interesting and all that jazz. And me and Mikey will catch you next week.
I'm in agony.
Good.
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.